With the weather finally starting to heat up, I thought now would be a perfect time to go over my summer running essentials. Now that the summer's here, the most important thing that you want to do is you're going to make sure you protect yourself from the sun. This is a sunscreen that I like to run in. It's the Neutrogena Ultra Sheer SPF 70. None of this stuff in this video is sponsored, by the way. This is just the stuff that I run in just about every day. This is something that I put on my face, neck, and arms. I usually don't put sunscreen on my legs for whatever reason. I've never needed to. I think I have kind of hairy legs, so maybe that's a natural sunscreen and a lot more information than you probably wanted to know. But sunscreen is something that you definitely want to put on even on a cloudy day, every day in the summer. You should probably technically be putting it on in the winter time too, but I'm not going to put on mittens and sunscreen at the same time. That just seems weird. The other thing that I have in the summertime as well is more sun protection, and that's a hat. This is a Nike hat. I like Nike hats the best. The thing is, Nike running hats are not great. So the Nike trail running hats, I like those, but I don't really run trail, so I think it'd be weird to wear that. And the Nike just regular running hat, I have that and I've run in that many times before. It looks like, it reminds me of those little hats with the little rims brims that bicyclists wear, so that's not my favorite hat. This is a dry fit hat. As you can see, it's the Legacy 91 dry fit. This is actually a golf hat. So most of the hats that I enjoy running in the most, I've got this one. I've got a gray one that doesn't have like a sewn on Nike swoosh. It's like a decal, not a decal, it's just a graphic Nike swoosh that's on there. Those are from like the Nike golf collection, but they're dry fit hats. I like to run in them. This one's a little bit thicker than the other one. Once they get stinky, I can throw them in the washing machine, and then I usually just air dry them. And the bill, this cardboard material, whatever it is, does just fine. You're probably going to want a couple of them depending on how frequently you run and I guess how much you sweat. I have a total of 3. I might pick up another one for the summer, not because I need it, but just because I like running hats. In terms of heat, now that it's hotter, I like to run in a lot of tank tops. I think Adidas makes some of the best running tank top. I have a Mizuno running tank top. I also really like those as well. If you're thinking about running in a tank top, the thing that you should decide, at least for men, is if you want to go with like a racer tank top or like the muscle tee tank top. I've run in the muscle tee kind of tank tops before, and I generally find that they're more hot than running in like a full, like not a full, but like a regular t-shirt. Some of the ones that I've had have like really high collars, and so it was almost like an underlayer, and it kept me warmer for some weird reason. Other times when I wear a muscle tee, it just looks like I'm swimming in it, because that's how muscle tees are designed, and so I usually don't like that kind. I like them like as kind of like minimal as possible. As far as shorts, here's a new pair that I picked up. These are Nike dry fit. I got these on Amazon. I'll post a link to them because they were, as far as Nike shorts go, really reasonable in price. These are the obsidian color that Nike makes that they swear is black, but I'm pretty sure is really just a navy weird color. But I like it. It's got this black. This is what the actual black looks like. Kind of like this vented side hole here. It's a shorter short. I think this is a 5-inch short. It's got a liner, which I've run in this a couple times. Feels nice and light, and it's got a little key pocket in the back that tucks in like in your waistline, so I'm not going to lose my keys. These are probably my favorite shorts right now. The last thing I'll say in the terms of clothing is socks. You don't need, these are not an essential. I have just regular Hanes like ankle socks that I also run in. But these are a brand of sock that I've run in for a long time. They're Right Sock. You can get them at most running stores. You can even find them on Amazon, which is why I've been kind of like stocking up on mine. They keep your feet a little bit cooler for the summer runs. As sweat kind of drips down your legs and collects in your ankles. I feel like my regular Hanes, like cotton socks, just absorb all that liquid, where these don't seem to do that. So I feel a little bit better there. If you have a lot of chafing problems with your feet in the summertime, it might be because you're getting a lot of extra moisture in there. So that might be something you want to check out. Another thing that I sometimes like to run in, even if I'm wearing a hat, I will also wear some sunglasses as well. These are my favorite running sunglasses. They're by Gooder. They're relatively cheap, $25 to $35, depending on if you're getting like the big head variety. These are just the regular head variety. They're Wayfarer style. They don't really slip or bounce. They're designed for running. They've got a nice little coating on here that keeps it from getting too gross or slippery. I like the way that I look in them, and I just think they're kind of fun. I like the mirror finish that they have on a lot of their sunglasses. They're constantly releasing new colors, so that keeps things nice and exciting. And I do think I need probably a new pair of those. The other thing that I would consider an essential for running is earbuds. I like to run with music. And this is the style of earbud that I like when I'm running in the summer. These are by Odium. I'll post a link in the description for a review I did of these. I've been wearing these and running in these for a really long time. These have been my favorite running earbuds probably ever. The sound quality is pretty good, and they're just reliable. They've worked for me really well. I like the fact that it's corded because I love the idea of the true wireless earbuds. But they never seem to work for me for more than like a month, and I've tried 6 or 7 different pairs over the years. But the other important thing about these is for the summertime, they have the ear loop. I sweat like crazy, and so anything that doesn't have an ear loop tends to fall out for me. The other thing I like about these is that there's nothing on like this, the cable that connects them. So some of the earbuds that have kind of like the inline microphone and the volume controls, those tend to be balanced improperly. And so as I run, the cable tends to like shift towards one side, which then causes it to be heavier on one side. And then once I get super sweaty, if they don't have the ear loop, they fall out. So this is the brand that kind of works for me. And then the last thing I'll talk about for summer running is hydration and nutrition. In the summertime, you're sweating like crazy just being outside. Add running on top of that, you're going to need to find a way to replenish the things that you are sweating out. These are the two things that I like to carry with me most frequently. These are gummies. I like these Gatorade Prime Chews. Those are easily available. So a lot of times, if you don't have time to go to the running store, or have time to order something on Amazon, you can usually find this at your grocery store. They're not that cheap, but they are pretty much everywhere these days. So this is like more of the convenience buy. But in terms of my preference, I like these Cliff shots. They're like goo or any of the gels that you might have out there. I particularly like these Cliff ones because they have caffeine in them. And so they come in, I think they come in like 25, 50 milligram, and even 100 milligram varieties. I've never been able to find the 100 milligram varieties on Amazon, but I have been able to find 25 and 50. This chocolate one, chocolate mocha, has 50 milligrams of caffeine in it, and the lemon citrus one that I also like to have, that has 25 milligrams. And so depending on how much of a pick-me-up you really want, you can kind of adjust your caffeine level accordingly. And if you're running and you eat one of these, like 50 milligrams, that's like a quarter cup of coffee, so it doesn't sound like it's that much. But when you're running and your stomach's empty and you take one of these, it's like rocket fuel. So I love having those. If you are heart rate training though, you might want to stay away from that because of the caffeine. But those are my summer running essentials. I'd love to hear about what your running essentials are if they're not on this list. Let me know about those in the comments, or if you have any questions about any of the stuff. I'll try to post links to everything to the extent that I can down in the description. And be safe out there. Make sure you're getting hydrated, and enjoy your summer running.
Yo, what's going on?